Sid and Zoe, and I am Zoe.
And I'm Sid.
So, guys, today we are going to speak about God's plan versus your plan.
Yes, we felt like encouraging you with this topic because sometimes things don't go your way, and then you might feel like you are in the wrong, or maybe God is punishing you, or all those things that playing a huge role in your mind and how you behave and how you react to the world.
And that's true. And we're just going to read a scripture talking about God's plan.
Yes.
And it's found in Jeremiah 29 verse 11. It reads as follows. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster. Other version says plans not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. To give you a future and a hope.
So for me, when I read that scripture, we are creatures that like to plan for the future. Sometimes when you don't know what the future holds, you become scared. You have this little fear that is like, will I have money in the future? Will I be broke in the future? Will I be sick in the future? Especially, will I be married or will I be single forever? Especially in these times, we'd like to know for sure what is going to happen in our futures. And sometimes things don't go according to plan. You plan to go to university and get that degree that you want to get, but then maybe let's say, for example, you fail.
That's true.
You feel like hanging yourself because now everything that you thought was going to happen does not happen according to your plan.
Sure.
So, but here is a relief for you. God says, I know the plans I have for you. Not the plans that you have for yourself. The plans I have for you. That should give us comfort that our future is safe in the hands of God.
Yeah, safe in the hands of God. And as my hubby is talking about all these things, I am just reminded of alignment, that in order for us to align with God's plans, we actually have to know what are those plans. Like, for instance, I can never know what are God's plans if I don't go to Him, pray, seek Him, ask Him what are His plans over my life. Because the confusion comes when we don't exactly know what are those plans. And mind you, God does speak every day, hey? He speaks through the Holy Spirit, and He makes the things that we don't know known unto us through the Holy Spirit, because He said, Jesus told His disciples that I'm not leaving you alone. I'm leaving you with I'm leaving you with the Holy Spirit, not the disciples, with the Holy Spirit. And that Holy Spirit will make all the things that God, the mysteries that God has, He will make them known unto us. So we must not be afraid to ask God. It's not like when we ask Him, He will punish us, or maybe that voice, master's voice, will be struck by lightning.
There's this thing that T.D. Jakes said. He says, whether if the clay was if the clay was still being molded by God, or when He was shaping the clay, or when the calabash was being broken, all those times the clay was in God's hand. So same thing that happens with our lives. Whether you fall apart, you become demotivated, you are still in God's hands. The plans that He has for you are still valid and true, because you are still in His hand. It is better to be broken in the hands of the potter, in the hands of the Father, because His plans for you are for good. He says it's to give you hope
and the future.
And the future.
Wow, I love it. He is our potter.
Yes.
He is our maker. Goes back to the fact that He is our maker, and we are made with His image and likeness. Therefore, we have to do whatever that He says we must do. Remember, every single of us is here on earth to do God's purpose. What is God's purpose? His plans over our lives is God's purpose. It's His will over our lives. So what I can say to you today is that seek the Lord, number one, is that ask. Don't be afraid to ask the Lord, what are your plans? And again, number 3, do not fear when things do not go according to your ways. Number 4, we should know that there's a process. You go through a process. It might be that God will tell you that you're going to be a billionaire, but what does it take to get there?
Yes.
In between of that, in God telling you that you're going to be a billionaire, there's just going to be a process, and you should accept that process, and you should just be happy and joy in that process until it manifests and it comes true.
One last word from me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes God works like this. You don't know the destination where you're supposed to be, but He reveals the steps where you should put your step. Sometimes you just take it one step at a time, it should not frustrate us about like if we are going through a certain process and we have not reached a particular destination. What matters is Him lighting the steps Him illuminating the place where I'm putting my steps in, up until we get to a particular destination. God.
So from us, we just want to encourage you and inspire you once more again through this amazing topic, that just seek after God and know what are His plans. And His plans are not to harm you, but to give you a good future and a hope.
Thank you so much for joining us once again. See you next time.